Hello, everybody. I'm Gemma Drone, and tonight we're going to talk about the emotional pain, depression, general just heaviness and suffering that often comes up for many people during the awakening process. At some point in the process, they go through these periods of just general darkness and heaviness that can really make you immobile, that can really make you feel like not only are you not progressing forward in your personal growth and transformation, but even make you feel like you're going backwards. And it makes you feel really helpless when you're at this point where it may even be hard to get out of bed because you feel that deep depression and you have no motivation to do anything. And it can be really hard to understand why this is happening and why you're experiencing it when all you want more than anything is to experience ease and joy and be able to move forward on your path of growth and your path of understanding and your path of transformation. And it can be something that comes up suddenly. One day you feel fine, the next day you can barely move and you're just weighed down by this crazy darkness that came out of nowhere. Or it may be something that's been weighing on you for a long time, that this darkness has lasted for a long time and it hasn't lifted. And it can appear in both ways for different people. And this pain, this emotional pain and suffering, even though it's so hard to deal with, is there for a reason. Just like when we have physical pain or sickness, it's there to show us where we need to do some healing or strengthening in our bodies. If we have a flu or a cold, we need to strengthen our immune system. If we have achy knees, we need to strengthen our joints. And it may even be pain from old injuries or old wounds that pop back up. And the same goes for emotional pain. It's showing us where we need to do the work. What parts of us are unhealed? What parts of us are asking for attention, are crying out for healing and love and understanding? And so if we begin to look at that emotional pain and suffering as a message for us, as a way of our higher selves or our true selves, our authentic selves communicating with us, asking us to heal parts of us that have been disconnected, parts of us that are wounded, parts of us that are suffering. And so if we begin to listen a little more carefully for those messages and just understand that the pain is not without purpose, that the pain is really there to get our attention. And unfortunately, as humans, most of us takes pain to get our attention. Unfortunately, happiness and joy doesn't really do it the way that pain and suffering does. When we're in pain and suffering, we want to change it. So we start looking for answers. We start listening. We start trying to figure out what is out of balance. And it can be particularly hard to listen, to even hear these messages, or even to fathom that there is a message when we are in so much pain and when the suffering lasts for so long and when the heaviness and depression fog our mind and we can't really even think straight. It can be really difficult to move out of it. But knowing that these are cycles and that it will lift and change, and that so many of us have been through these cycles of darkness and have moved through it into the other side, is important to remember that you too are going to move through this cycle. And I find that when I'm trying to process or understand a certain heavy emotion that's happening for me, especially if it's lasted for a long time, it's a good idea to get out of your house to try to process it. Because sitting in a place where you've been feeling this heaviness for so long can just kind of weigh you down and spiral you even further into it. And so I found sometimes the best medicine is going for a walk and getting out in nature. And as you're walking and breathing in the fresh air and the new scenery, and you're not in that pit of despair that you've been in for weeks, that your mind is clearer and that the answers come a little more easily, that you may have some insights that you weren't aware of before. And so I encourage you, if you're in this place of darkness and depression, to go outside and go for a walk, go to, a beautiful place where it's quiet and inspiring. And while you are there, just quietly asking yourself what this pain is about, what this pain is trying to teach you and show you, and trace it. If you can see triggers, if you can see memories, can you see connections to old memories and old traumas? Or is it just your body asking for something that it needs? And so that's another great question, is what do I need right now? What is it that my body's asking me for? And so taking that space, finding some fresh air to process these emotions are a really good start, knowing that there's cycles that come and go, and that they are there to teach you something very important and to help you heal and move through this heaviness that's come through the surface so that you can release it completely from every cell in your body. That is really the purpose and what your authentic self is trying to achieve at this moment. And so if you're in this space of just darkness and depression and you're really struggling with it, I honor you, give you a lot of credit. I send you all my love and encourage you to keep moving through it. Don't get stuck into it. Sometimes the only way out is through. And if you would like some assistance getting through it, so many of us, I know that I needed a lot of assistance at these times and was so grateful when I found those people who could move me through it. So if you are looking for that person and you're wanting some assistance, please reach out to me, send me a private message, and we can talk and see if what I offer, the private sessions that I offer, or the spiritual mentor program that I offer, is see if they're a good fit for you. And right now, for the next 2 months, I'm offering some New Year's specials on that as well. So let me know if you would like to chat about that. Let me know if you have any questions. You can leave them here in the comments or in the Facebook group. And I'm just sending massive, massive love to you all, and just continued transformation for every one of us. All right, have a beautiful night, and I will see you in the Facebook group.